Hello everyone, and welcome to a video that's going to be a return of an old series. I think that I haven't done a video in this series for maybe 2 years, something like that. I'm going to try to get them more frequently. I say that a lot, but just see if I follow through with that. Hang in there. The idea of this is to talk about movies that I've watched recently, and I'm going to be leaving out a whole bunch. I mean, I haven't done this in so long. There's many movies that I've watched that are not going to be reported here. The idea of this is that I'm going to go through movies very quickly, very quick summaries, kind of like a lightning round kind of thing, where I show you movies I've watched recently, give you a couple of thoughts on them very quickly, and go through them. And I'm going to do them off the top of my head. Sometimes I prepare notes. I prepare notes sometimes, bullet points, things I want to talk about to help me along. This time when I do this series, I don't do that. Okay, I have to remember things, and whatever comes out, mistakes and all. That'll make it some fun for me, I think, too. Okay, very, very genuine, very raw. Now, before I go on and tell you some of these movies, I want to tell you that some of these movies, if you're interested in them and you want to see what I think of them more fully, or actually give them a star ranking too, from 1 to 4 stars, you have to watch the individual reviews. Now, not all the movies that I show here are going to be ranked individually. Not all of them are going to have their own videos. Some of them are not going to have a dedicated video. All I could say is if you want to access my playlists feature, if you're interested in any particular movie, you could find the review. Or maybe I'll tell you in a case if I have one up. Let's go. After that long intro, the first one up is The Magic Christian, which is a comedy starring Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr. This one I do have a full video up if you want to check it out. And I will say that this particular movie is kind of dull most of the time. I found it kind of uninteresting, but later on in the movie it got better. The second half, this is a bizarre movie about Peter Sellers as an eccentric billionaire who finds a homeless man, Ringo Starr, in the park and then decides to adopt him. And that's all I'll say at this point. Okay, this is a movie I've seen many times, and I recently rewatched it again because I got this Criterion edition. I'm talking about Todd Browning's Freaks. A very interesting movie, very, very risque for the time it was released in 1932, about kind of a circus of, let's say, challenged people that are different from other people. And I don't want to say too much about it. Eventually I'll make a dedicated video. I have not yet done it, but it's a good movie, and a movie that is worth seeing, definitely. Okay, I had videos up for both these movies I'm going to talk about here. You could check them out if you want. Double feature here of The Giant Gila Monster and also The Killer Shrews, two 1950s ultra cheapy grade Z movies that well, you have to see. The first one, The Giant Gila Monster, has to do with hot rods, 1950s, and also a lizard that's actually a regular sized lizard that's kind of projected in close up, and this is supposed to be the Giant Gila Monster. So what did I think of it? Watch the video. Killer Shrews is really about a bunch of people trying to survive in a little house with a bunch of killer shrews, which in this case are enacted by actual dogs who are dressed in extra hairy costumes. And puppets are used sometimes to get the close-ups of these beasts, and they have to survive and fend off these creatures. Okay, I just put up a review of this movie. It's one of two on here. This one's King of the Zombies from 1941, World War II era. A plane crash lands on a remote island, and there's a kind of a weird doctor who is performing weird experiments, and there's a reveal later in the film. It's a lot of comedy in it. It's not really great, but not to say the least, but it's actually got some funny bits in there, courtesy of black comedian of the times, Mantan Moreland. Okay, another film I've seen a few times, also in the cheapy department, The Cyclops from the 50s. This movie does not have a dedicated review up or anything yet, but it does have Lon Chaney in there. Lon Chaney, to me, is the main reason to watch this. It stars Gloria Talbot, who you may know from I Married a Monster from Outer Space. She's in there. She plays the wife, the doomed wife. Um, and another really low budget cheapie, as this woman hires a plane and a few people to go with her to find her husband who disappeared and has become a big giant cyclops monster when they find out. And Lon Chaney is the highlight of this. Lon Chaney is really, really into it, over the top, rough, gruff. And I don't want to say too much about it until you've seen the movie, but Chaney to me is what makes this watchable. Okay, Universal, or should I say Universal International in the 1950s. Here's Monster on the Campus. This is a movie I'm going to want to do a dedicated single review to. It's a pretty good movie, I think, about a doctor who is experimenting, and he has a fish from prehistoric times, a big giant fish that he's found, and he's analyzing this fish, and there's something about the fish that its blood, if it starts dripping blood out, or you wind up coming in contact with it, it can restore you to prehistoric times. That's what happens to the doctor here, and he winds up becoming the title creature, and other kinds of life here wind up transforming back to their early past, like a dragonfly that comes in contact with the fish, a German Shepherd, etc. Good movie. Here's a classic. I Was a Teenage Werewolf, which has yet to have an official DVD or Blu-ray release because Susan Hart, who is the wife of the late, I believe, Jack Nicholson, not Jack Nicholson, it's not Jack Nicholson. I said I was going to include mistakes. Not Jack Nicholson. I forget the name. You have Arkoff and Nicholson. Anyway, there it is. James Nicholson. Got it. Sees it on the back. Saved me. Told you it was going to be rough off the cuff. James Nicholson, the widow, who refuses, for whatever reason, to let these things be licensed. She will not let these movies come out. She owns Teenage Werewolf, I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. She owns The Amazing Colossal Man. She owns It Conquered the World. Other great 50s films that she's just hoarding and does not want out. But thankfully, you have people who have other copies that you can get. Michael Landon is in here, an early Michael Landon from Bonanza era, and he plays the title character who meets up with Whit Bissell. Whit Bissell being an actor in a lot of these 50s movies, who is a crazy doctor who kind of transforms him into a werewolf. And yeah, this one I really want, damn it, on regular Blu-ray or something. Okay, do it, do it. Finally, for this video, I have The Colossus of New York. This is another 1950s movie. You can see I love 1950s monster movies, 1950s science fiction movies. Another scientist, a brilliant scientist, winds up dying, getting hit by a car, and then his father, an older scientist himself, preserves his brain into the body of a giant robot. And it's pretty fun, pretty fun. Colossus of New York. I also have this on Blu-ray. So that's it, folks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And please make sure to if you're interested in any of these movies, just check out to see if I reviewed them. You have to look under the categories. If it's a 50s movie, say horror, look under 50s horror. If it's a comedy, look under comedy. You'll be able to find them. Drama, look under drama. As you know here, most of you, a lot of what I watch, almost exclusively, but not all, is horror and science fiction related. But there's other stuff too. Anyway, I'm going to be moving for now. This has gotten kind of long. So look forward to another installment soon.